Let's face it, they're the most successful Sydney team we've had in years.
Yeah.
They are centrally located in this city.
Yeah.
They've got every reason to have a huge crowd every home game. And what are they getting? 8,000?
Did Nick Belitis offer you a contract which was well unders or something like that back in the day?
No, that's probably why. I didn't get it off.
You didn't get an offer at all. New stadium in Sydney. Everyone's very excited. Allianz Stadium, over 40,000. Should they play double headers just to maximise the revenue from the joint and get all the fans excited, or is that a ridiculous idea?
The double header. Okay, let's start by being honest. Roosters fans.
Yeah.
They need double headers to fill that place up.
Oh.
All right, so I can get a Roosters home game, a Souths home game. Then we're talking about a good crowd, a good atmosphere. Mate, you're building a whole stadium. It seats 42,500 people, and you're going to have about 12 Roosters fans in the crowd. Fill it up, do a double header.
I think it'd be a waste initially because I honestly think that would you go and watch, say Parramatta aren't playing there and there's a game next year, would you like to go and watch it?
Yes.
Regardless of who's playing?
Yes.
So you don't need a double header then?
Oh, so then you experience the game once, the stadium once.
Yeah.
But to keep people coming back.
Yeah, I think initially, I think for at least the first 24 months, we saw it at the new Parramatta Stadium where people just wanted to go and look at the venue. So I think initially it'd be a waste to put a double header in, have as many events as we can squeeze in there, but it doesn't need a double header because people will go to watch just to be part of that event for the first time.
Do you remember the first game at Stadium Australia? The original
it was a double header.
You remember that atmosphere, that electric feeling in the crowd? Let's just create an atmosphere where you're going to pack it with people, get the crowd in there. Roosters aren't going to do it by themselves. Give them a hand. Give them another home game as well. 2 games. I'm all for it.
You're just using this opportunity to bet
Just
the other
smash the
Roosters.
roof. The crowd average next year will be 30 plus.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Where are they going to get them from?
Yeah, but the away fans will go.
Away fans,
The
okay.
casual
Yeah.
observer will go. All these people will go just to experience that stadium for the first time. Even if you look at the draw, you'd love to see your club play there. But I think people will go, even if your club's not playing at the new Allianz Stadium, I think someone will go and watch as a neutral.
What about the carnival atmosphere? There's entertainment and there's people everywhere outside and there's 2 games like Magic Round. You know, when there's so much atmosphere and energy in the area, I love it. I'm all for it.
Magic Round's a great idea. I don't like the idea of back-to-back NRL games at the same venue. I would rather NRL revert back to tradition or come into the 21st century and have a lot of double headers with NRLW and NRL, or bit of New South Wales Cup into NRL. Get the reserve graders out there.
Yeah, get them out there. Get the flag guys out there. I didn't realise we're back in 1994. Mate, we've moved on. Get on with it. We're a professional sport now. Get the big dogs out there. No disrespect to the New South Wales Cup, but they shouldn't be playing in front of the big crowd. Get the big crowd out there. Get the teams out there that people want to watch.
Well, it's mainly just family and friends in the stadium at that time.
Yeah.
Usually everyone rocks up for the big game.
Then what's the point? What's the point?
What's the point? It's just, it's better TV product back to back. You can put them both on TV because the cameras are there.
If we're having this discussion around a double header at Sydney Olympic Park, I'd be all for it.
Yep.
What? Why?
I've got no issue with it because we're not going to fill out 90. How much does that hold? 80,000 people. We're not going to get close to it.
Yeah.
But I think we'll pack 40,000 at most games at the new Allianz Stadium.
He's slowly coming on this side.
No. They're different. They're different things because double headers, waste of time next year at Allianz Stadium. Waste of time because you'll get 40,000 there at most games. There was no need for double headers at Parramatta Stadium when that opened up, and that got a lot of traction.
Combank.
But you're right. The away fans do come to check out the stadium, but then that wears off, and you're going to.
It does wear off. It does. Your team could play at the local park. If they're coming last, no one's going to go. Then if they're going to push for a top 8 spot and they're flying high, they'll pack any joint out.
But I'm not going to go hard on the Roosters again, but let's face it, they're the most successful Sydney team we've had in years.
Yeah.
They are centrally located in this city.
Yeah.
They've got every reason to have a huge crowd every home game. And what are they getting? 8,000?
Did Nick Belitis offer you a contract which was well unders or something like that back in the day?
No, that's probably why. I didn't get it off.
You didn't get an offer at all. Okay, guys, we're going to grant some unprecedented power. You can go back in time and use a captain's challenge on one decision that affected a big game and still annoys you to this day. Michael, yours?
Yeah, as a youngster, watching the 96 grand final, Mad Dragons family in my household, just before half-time, I'm pretty sure it was Manly, for some reason, did a short kickoff. I've got no idea why. Matthew Ridge picked up the ball, was clearly tackled clearly tackled by Nathan Brown.
Controversially.
Clearly tackled.
I'm holding it.
The
We'll get
referee,
to it.
David Manson, allowed play to go on.
Yeah.
Manly eventually score. Lights out for the Dragons in what would have been a fairy tale premiership.
We've got a debate coming on that. Timothy?
Mine 2009, let me paint the picture for you. We've gone on a run to the finals, Parramatta Eels, and we've come up against Melbourne Storm in the grand final. They come out of the blocks, bang, bang, full of energy, kind of catch us off guard. Then the game turns and the Eels are start powering home. Melbourne are nervous. We're coming for them. I think there's about 8 minutes to go. I can't remember exactly how long, but Billy Slater's coming out of his own end, goes to play the ball, gets up, drops the ball and falls over. Knocks the ball on. Should be Parramatta ball. We're behind by 6. We score a try. We're coming for them. Instead, there's a late call for a penalty. They go down. They get a field goal. Game over. We lose by 7.
My one is from the 1995 grand final, year before yours,
Yep.
Michael. Bulldogs, Manly. Big Manly fan. Best team all season. Rock up. Not playing our best, but basically the Dogs score in the first half off a gridiron pass, and in the second half they score on the 7th tackle of a set. So you can't challenge a forward pass, obviously, but can challenge the other one.
Yeah.
Would have won that game if it wasn't for that.
Seven tackles a killer.
You got smashed.
No, we didn't. It
What was the score?
was 17-4.
That's a fair score. You're saying
It's 2 tries. So take those 2 tries off. We're
mate,
within a
he's
try.
never in that
and
game.
We've got Cliff Lyons.
he's never in that game.
Think about this, Tim.
Never in it.
Never in it?
Yeah, he's really going to win that game.
I want to know how many times you've watched that
Ripped
2009 incident over and over.
Can I be honest with you? I actually haven't seen the game yet, ever.
Never?
I've never watched it. I
Will
remember
you
at the
ever watch it?
moment, and I remember Para fans telling me about I remember it, but I actually haven't seen it.
Well, firstly, that grand final doesn't exist anymore due to the dodgy brothers accounting down there. So they're just expunged from history, and you don't deserve to have the premiership ring because Melbourne, just because you played in the grand final and lost. But that's another debate.
Mate, the 34 beers we all had after the game says that night happened. I know it's disappeared, but the night definitely happened.
You were unlucky, but I don't think it would have changed much. Melbourne would have found a way, knowing that great Melbourne side.
They were coming from.
They would have
They
repelled
were
you.
nervous. They were scared. They were 6 points behind. We were coming.
Would you have challenged?
Yeah, 100% you challenge that. That is the textbook challenge. There's an error, he gives a penalty. It should have been an error instead of a penalty. That should have been a challenge.
What about a 7th tackle? That's a textbook challenge.
If someone identifies that they've scored on the 7th tackle, I think you could go back at that moment.
Do you reckon a player would have picked it up? Or did Thurston pick it up when Sharks had 7 tackles on them?
They were blowing up at that
They
stage.
knew about it at the
They were going off. But yeah, in that semi-final at the footy stadium.
It'd be hard to
that
pick up
was-
'cause in the heat of the moment. And now with the 6 again, 24/7 happening, it's hard to keep count of how many tackles in the set.
Well, in my mind, in 95, Manly were rightful premiers.
Well, you can have
'Cause of those
95. Can I have
disgraces.
96 then?
There's no way in your heart of hearts. There's a little part of me that says maybe Manly might not have run over the Bulldogs, but we were that good that year that I do actually believe we would have found a way to win the game if we didn't have those 2 horrendous scores, 1 challengeable, go against us. No way in the world Dragons win that game.
But not after
With or
that.
without the decision.
You don't know.
Well, happily with my one, we got redemption the year after. You had to wait, until 2010 to win
Long
a comp?
time.
And you had to wait until...
Don't start.
Dot.
Sorry, mate. All of a sudden, you got these players going out on loan. Like a player going from the Tigers down to the Storm, and he comes back to the Tigers next year, and this and that and this. I hate it. You guys?
Love it.
I love it.
Love it.
Oh, there we go. We're on the
Love
same
it.
page.
Right, this is going to be fun. Why?
Firstly, I love player market frenzy. I think it adds an interest into the game that doesn't happen post-Origin. Post-Origin, around rugby league, it's a bit of a lull before we get into the final. So it generates news, it generates debate, it generates a different interest into the game that, post-Origin gets a little bit boring. And you don't agree?
Did you see this year?
Yeah, what were we talking
Manly
about?
decided to put a couple of
I know.
rainbows on a jersey,
I know.
and then the 2 blokes got
I know.
suspended for tackling with their head. And all of a sudden, you're saying that there wasn't enough to talk about?
Mate, let me come at you from a past player point of view, from a person that used to play the game. I know you played squash, but this is a bit different. the player that gets, say for example, Nofaluma, who's playing reserve grade.
Yeah.
He's stuck in reserve grade. He's in purgatory. Can't do anything. He's stuck there. All of a sudden, a team like Melbourne Storm, who can win a comp, say, hey, come over here. What a lift for a player to have that buzz and that excitement to go over there and play with a good team rather than getting spat on by his own team.
But not only that,
I'm all for it.
You think of that from a David Norfoluma point of view. But what about the West Tigers? He's on $500,000. They're chipping in. They've got to pay his whole salary. Now he goes and plays for Melbourne, so they're saving $100,000 and puts them in a better situation heading into next year. He's in reserve grade. He obviously needs a freshen up. There's no doubt about it. He's a guy that needs to go somewhere
Let
else.
him go.
Well, they have.
But don't come back.
Yeah, but no one's going to chip in. He's on $500,000. No one's going to pay David Norfoluma
Well,
$500,000.
that's West Tigers making another fantastic decision, isn't it?
You know, but he also gets to experience big games.
Comes back with experience.
That's right. I think it's a huge win. West Tigers win as much as Melbourne do in David Norfoluma playing out the season in Melbourne.
Look at Harry Grant. Harry Grant goes to the Tigers as a kid.
Yeah.
He comes back to he was never going to be playing ahead of Cameron Smith.
But that was a season-long thing.
Doesn't matter.
I
It's
get
still,
that.
it's still a loan. He was still contracted to the Storm.
I get
he comes
that.
back to the Storm, an experienced player. He kicks off his career with all of a sudden he's not starting from scratch. He's starting as a veteran. Well, not a veteran, a year into his career. I reckon it was great for him and developed him as a player, as a person, and the Melbourne Storm with the benefit for it.
I don't mind the season-long loans, but the ones like 6 weeks out from the finals, and it's like you're having a barbecue and forgot to buy the bread. Oh, we'll quickly go down the shops and get some bread. And everything's all right then. Well, it shouldn't work like that.
But you can.
You can buy
do it.
bread.
You can
I
go
know
buy
you
bread if
can
need
do
to.
it, but you shouldn't be able to. What I'm saying is,
But
okay, they've got injuries, they've
Yeah.
got problems, they've got a lack of depth in those areas.
Yeah.
Too bad.
It's actually good salary cap management that Melbourne have the money available and a roster spot available to counter and get someone in like David Norfoluma. We saw it last year with Penrith and Tavita Pangai Jr. I've got no issue with it whatsoever.
But that wasn't a loan because he was going.
It was still a loan.
He was going anyway.
Yeah.
He was never going back to
He was
Brisbane.
never going back to Brisbane.
Never
so
going
you're
back
okay
to
with that?
Well, that's not a loan.
Well,
That's
technically, it
No,
is.
that's not a loan. It's here, have the book. I don't want it back.
They've
That's
also
not a loan.
but they've also saved Brisbane X amount of money off their cap as well to get him out early.
Great for Brisbane.
So I get it.
Have a
You're a
better Christmas
purist.
party.
You want reserve grade back before NRL.
I'm
You're
a
still living in
purist.
1994. The game is changing. It's a lot more professional. There's
Hey.
a trade window. People want to see the game develop and get better and quicker and faster. And they want to see players have the ability to change when they need to. They're doing it with the help of other teams in the competition. So other teams are helping them. Yeah,
They
it's not
get
like
a benefit, but there's a risk for clubs because Melbourne really wanted Adam Dewey. If I was the West Tigers, no way would I be letting Adam Dewey go and experience the Melbourne Storm because chances are he's not coming back.
Yeah.
So you got to be smart about it as well. You just can't let your best player go play for somewhere else and experience what a good club it is to be like. But you'd be pleased to know it looks like the NRL are going to look at it and get rid of the August 1 deadline and go back to June 30.
Yeah, I like June 30. June 30 is a bit more realistic, and it's not as close to the finals. Like to make you happy, it's not like you're going to get bread last minute. It's a bit more organised. So hey, I've got a
night
barbecue.
before.
Yeah, I've got a barbecue tomorrow. I'm running a bit low on stock. Let me go get someone.
Plan accordingly.